Fellas, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? Well, have no fear, RexMD is here just in time to bring you some holiday cheer. Our sponsor, RexMD, is FDA approved. To help you always be prepared, RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it directly to you. No trips to the doctor, no insurance, and no copay. Take advantage of their best deal yet and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage. With just a few clicks of a button, you can talk directly to a medical professional, create a personalized plan, and get the products discreetly shipped straight to your door, and you'll do it all within 2 days. RexMD has already helped over 300,000 guys gain confidence quickly and conveniently. Act now to take advantage of their best deal yet by heading to rexmd.com/Chael, where you're only going to pay $2 per dosage. That's rexmd.com/Chael for up to 90% off. Give the gift of pleasure this holiday season with RexMD. Suga Sean, guys, what headspace is he in? You guys know Sean? You guys following Sean? What do you got here? Because I don't have it figured out. Tell you what I'm talking about. Suga Sean has come out recently. Okay, I'm going to throw a few things at you, but they're all within the last 96 hours. Suga Sean has come out and said, I'm going to do nothing but wrestling. I'm going to prepare. I don't know if I'm fighting Cejudo. I don't know if I'm facing Aljo. I just know they're both strong wrestlers. I'm going to spend all my time on grappling. Just by example. Number one ranked guy, it looks as though we got a little round robin. Henry, Aljo going to go figure their business out. Sean waiting in the wings. That's what it looks like. And when you have someone like Sean, who's a number one contender, not to mention the way that he got it, I mean, he's a big underdog to lose to Jan. He's ranked number 10 in the world. I don't think anybody's gone from 10-1 with a win, not to mention the decision was highly controversial. None of this is to fault Sean. It's to celebrate Sean. Whoa, there's something here. The guy needs to go fight for belts. This is a main event guy. This is where we got to use him. And I only say that because I think that supports and lends to the idea that Sean go work on that grappling, but that he wait for Aljo and Henry. Now, that generally is never done. As a matter of fact, off the top of my head, I could give you one example where that ever has been done. Ever. I could give you one example where a guy was put in the batter's box to wait. The championship fight was out here, and then he was going to come in. It was Ngannou versus Stipe Part 2. Ngannou knocked out Rosenstruck. Dana White said, man, I ain't putting no one else in there with him. Guys fighting for the belt. But Daniel and Stipe still had like 2 months to get to their date, so Ngannou was waiting around, but I'm just sharing for you. It was meant as a reward. It was meant as, hey, you've done enough, hold off. But I think that that's what we're doing with Sean because I don't have a better idea. Is that great evidence by me? Okay, great. But it also sounds, and Sean's the one that's leading me to believe this. We got Henry, we got Aljo coming out and confirming that they are going to fight next. We got the media getting around it. We're all starting to settle in, and then it slips to us. Now that fight's not signed. Why not? I don't have a conspiracy. Why not? Why wouldn't that be signed? It's a contract issue. Is this a money issue? Is this an USADA issue? There's some red tape there. Why not? Do we not have a venue? Why is that fight not signed? I don't know the answer to that. I'd like to know. But if that fight isn't signed, should Sean be campaigning for it? And that is an interesting question. I had a phone call earlier. This is based on a phone call I had with my buddy Ryan. And Ryan is telling me, yeah, I think he should be going for it. I go, well, if we look at it from all sides, okay, you got two really hard fights in front of you. You got a kickboxer in Sean. I get that he's well-rounded, all these different things. He's even saying he needs to work on his grappling. Okay, great. You got a kickboxer. He's going to have to go deal with a grappler, or he's going to have to deal with two grapplers. Depends how he plays it. If Sean was to step in right now and go with Aljo and get the jump on him, Sean now gets drawn into by Henry. He's got to go deal with both of them. If Sean waits for those two to eliminate one of them, Sean slides in and gets the belt. The one that got beat isn't going to come in for the belt. You can eliminate one of the wrestlers if that's one of your concerns. I'm just throwing that at you. If that's not a concern, but I'm sharing it is very different. And what order you go in is very, very different. It's a very different outcome. It's very different preparation. It's different on who your matchups are going to be, right? The fighter's job is to come out and advertise to the world, I only want to take on the best guys. No, man, your job's to get the most money in the easiest fight at all times. That's hard to do. That's a hard game to do, but that is still the game that you're playing at all times. So if you can avoid one of the wrestlers when you're saying you need to work on your wrestling, might be smart. I don't know that Sean's thinking that. I don't think Sean cares. Sean's won me over. Going into fighting Peter Yan, you know what a hard task that is in that position on that continent at that time. He's ranked number 10. He's going to take on the number 1 ranked guy. Please, you tell me somebody else that's done that heavy of lifting and put it all on the line to do that. A spread of 10. Tell me somebody else that's done that. Oh, Sean went and did it. By the way, he found success. He's won me over. I'm not questioning any of that, but I have been a little bit surprised, confused face, when I see that Henry versus Aljo isn't done. I'm getting that information from Sean. Sean's putting pieces on social media. Sean's doing podcasts that my source is Sean, so he's well aware of this fact, but he hasn't tried to insert himself. Hey, if that fight's not done, screw it. Don't do that fight. Here's the Suga Show. I'm ready. He's not done that, and Sean is extremely tactical. Sean does not get credit for that because you guys don't understand that. But when his story is done and his career is over, you're going to look back and go, my God, that guy planned everything out. He planned it out 3 steps ahead, and he did, and he's not calling for that fight. I'm left to guess why. Is it because let them eliminate each other? Then there's a built-in product that you get a little bit of a break. Now, that break doesn't mean it's time on the couch with your feet up. It means that Sean's already told us what he's going to do. In the meanwhile, he's going to work on his grappling. It sounds like he's got his plan all done. And once you get a plan and you think it's going to work, it's very hard to deviate from that. All of a sudden, we're not fighting in 7 months. We're fighting in 2.5. That's a massive swerve. Not to mention, what is the problem with the Henry and Aljo fight? It's a very fair question by me. I mean, just imagine there's a scenario. This isn't what's happening. I'm trying to make a point here. Imagine there's a scenario where that fight is being held up and it's being held up by Aljo, which would be much more likely of the two. With what leverage would Cejudo have to hold up a fight? He's been begging and clamoring for a match. They're going to bring him right into a world title fight. I mean, that's one of those things where you get down on your knees, you thank God in heaven above, you sign the contract with your mouth shut. That's one of those situations. So if this fight's being held up, if I had to guess, I'm making stuff up here, guys. I don't have any evidence. But if I had to guess, it would be on Aljo's side. Well, how many times have we seen a situation like that happen? And we just move on with it. We get a poster that drops and we get an announcement on SportsCenter. It's going to be Cejudo versus Suga Sean for the interim championship. Guys, we've seen this. We've seen this movie play out many, many times. We've seen this. So I've got to go back to what is holding up Henry and Aljo. Could be on Henry's side. Been difficult to work with for the last 2 years. As a matter of fact, they haven't worked with him for the past 2 years. As a matter of fact, the championship he's coming back to win is a championship that he never lost. Took the thing off and threw it down, sent Cejudo out. So there's a number of different answers. There's a number of different reasonable hypotheses, right? A hypothesis being an educated guess, a guess based on information. Great, I'm using history as my trajectory to the future. I could see this on both sides, but if it is from Aljo, how long is that game going to be played until we get on with it in the form of Arizona versus Arizona, former champion versus number 1 contender, Suga Sean versus Henry Cejudo? Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, we need some resolution. And the only piece that we haven't seen before this really drums up and we have some fun drama is Sean inserting himself and making the demand, give me my opportunity. Sean has not done that yet. Because he hasn't done that, we haven't done that. It's a dead issue. It's a non-topic. He's buying a little time. Those two can still get things worked out. But how much time do they have? And what is it that they're working out?